welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, on this Tuesday night here at GameStar TV. You're here because you love Heroes of the Storm, and we are bringing that at you all night long. It is the Blizzard ANZ HGC qualifiers for Season 4. The winner of this, well, not tonight, but the winner of the overall competition will be going to BlizzCon to represent the region. Will it be Nomia or will it be Darksided? Maybe even Crimson, who have come out of absolutely nowhere to take the one-day competition away from the boys at Darksided after the Darksided lads beat Nomia. Get your head around that one. It's all up for grabs. It's a roller coaster of a season, and we wouldn't have it any other way. We just saw the Nomia lads pick up their first win in this best-of-3 series over the lads at Crimson Esports on Dragonshire. They had the first preference, and they chose the map. Now it's going to go over to Crimson, who will get the choice of map or first ban, so it's up to them. But without further ado, as we get into game number 2, it's back over to your casters once again, Skimmy the Rap God and Vandy the ANZ.
I love how we just have like 40 different catchphrases for us. You know, I've switched from being known as like the peanut butter Nutella lips to just Rap God. I'm no longer Eminem.
Never forget about that. Never.
Never forget your roots. Never forget where you came from. But yeah, we're going to jump into game number 2. It is on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Crimson Gaming actually opted for the map pick here, so they're going to go for that one, meaning that Nomia will get first pick. So check out the old good luck, good lucks, because sportsmanship is a must. And we'll jump into the draft, Andy.
Let's go. Tomb of the Spider Queen. This is an interesting one because this is actually one of Darksided's favorite maps. Bread and butter, back to front, ins and outs. They know it like the back of their hand. Is this Nomia? Is this Crimson trying to psych out Nomia? Is it Crimson trying to get ready in preparation for when they do eventually verse Darksided? I mean, there's a lot of questions I've got in my mind. I want to see what they're going to bring.
We'll see how they decide to try and change this one up. It's interesting actually to note that, especially in our region, we value wave clear on this one. Above anything else, we'll sacrifice kill pressure just for the fact that we can clear lanes quicker, and with that, you have the pressure to then rotate. So you saw in that game before, when the lanes are pushed against you, you can freely roam, locking in your counter opponent, stay there, making those fights a 5v4. But we're going to open up this draft once again. Nomia taking away the Uther. Let's see if the Oriole is the ban of choice.
Is that going to be the immediate response, or will they let it through? I mean, I'm actually surprised Nomia did ban that Uther, but it shows that they've got something else up their sleeve, or perhaps they are respecting the Stitches Uther combo, which is quite common on a map like this.
Interestingly enough, they decide to ban the Malfeel. I wonder if this is not so much the respect ban towards Rio, but the fact that saying, well, hey, you can't pick all the OP champions in that one pick slot. So, hey, if you don't go for the Oriole first pick, we will take absolutely everything that we can. And talking of that, with Tracer and Tesla still being available, that's been a go-to. And they say, hey, if Tesla's there, we value that much more than the Oriole.
They really do. And is that also... I'm wondering, is that also by banning the Uther, is that getting Moondruid off one of his comfort heroes? I mean, Moondruid, he is a very flexible support. We've seen him play in the competitive scene for quite some time. And I mean, Malfurion used to be one of his favorites. I also do see him on Oriole. But Uther, I've always seen him play that Uther as well. So by forcing him onto something else, will he be less confident? I mean, the Oriole is there with the Tacita being snapped up by Nomia.
They lock in with the Arthas, they lock in the Oriole. They're not going to give away what that carry is to start off with, but with the Arthas there, it basically says, once again, like what we saw in game number 1 on Dragonshire, hey, if you have some comp that's looking to get in our face, the Arthas will absolutely punish you for that, and we will have that kill pressure when we rotate between lanes.
It's perfect. It really fits into that, and it would have been too strong to give them Oriole and Tacita, so I do like that it was immediately snapped up on the side of Crimson. Now, what are they going to pair it with? I mean, we've got the batteries, the go-to S-tier batteries, which are Vala and Gul'dan, work very well on this map. Even Sylvan, as people are saying, quite a good battery. Overlooked, but because if you can't get that early game pressure, she feels like a bit of dead weight, but she can work very well on this if you're quite ahead. Snowball the game in your favor. Yeah,
not to forget, you've also got the new picks as well that have started to find a lot of love in the likes of Lunara as well as Cassia. Cassia, even more so, given how much pressure the likes of Genji, Illidan, Val, as you mentioned, have been finding themselves with. So that's not something to completely take out of the works, but they go for the Vala, they go for the Stitches. 2 very strong picks in their own regard. So they're not going to give away their second support pick just yet. But the Stitches, whenever you can find a hook with that one, regardless if it's 1 minute, regardless if it's at the 20-minute mark, you are going to find some value with it.
Indeed. And I mean, I've been on the receiving end of that. You can feel like you're winning all game, and then the Stitches just gets that one hook towards the end, and that's it. That's going to be game for you. So You'd need to respect that. And he offers a lot of zoning potential, something that can be often overlooked. Around the turn-in points, always need to be wary about where he is. Malfurion being the ban, so he can pair quite nicely if they're trying to dive that Ballad, dive that Tacita, and if they had that Malfurion with Twilight Dream, as you said, very, very anti-dive.
It's interesting, actually, that they ban away the Malfurion. And this seems to be something that ANZ not necessarily is stuck in, but we feel very comfortable with. And what we saw at those sort of clashes was the fact that, hey, we just want to lock in Stitches, regardless if we have some hard CC to follow it up. We're quite happy to take the Rhaegar or any other support, as long as we just have this pick alone. We're happy for it. But generally speaking, in the ANZ region, we're like, we need the Ufa, we need the Malfurion, hook, stun, hook, root, and then it's easy pickings from there. But they do pair it. They decide, hey, we are going to be running our composition very heavy on that attack damage, so we want to take away the Cassia to deny it from the Oriole pairing.
They do, and Skimmy, you predicted this one well, the Cassia being taken off the board. So you saw that one coming, and as you said, Cassia, she really is stepping up to the plate. She offers a lot of that versatility, the blind, often not overlooked, and that high burst potential. So by taking her off the board, they really do, Nomia, they're thinking about keeping that Valor safe, keeping that Tacita safe, making sure that there's the least amount of resistance in what Crimson are trying to bring. On the side of Crimson, however, still a lot of good picks. So if you're looking at that Stitches, if you're looking at that Tacita, they really want to go in on the dive. Once again, whether they want to run that Genji or the Greymane.
Yep.
Or there we go, Lunara, another great battery for Oriole. Paired with that Greymane. So they've got some siege, some wave clear, and more importantly, to get that battery for Oriole.
Yeah, I like this a lot. This is comfort picks for them. Greymane, we know they love to play all day long, but the Lunara, just the flex pick, it just does so much work. Not only does it complement the Oriole, but the way it works against these compositions in the sense that you apply the poison and you can dictate how they run at you. So the likes of, say, Arthas, very predictable. They're going to walk up to you, and if you can delay that, you can kite them around. It's what I would have loved to have seen from them in game number 1 to deal with the likes of the Malthael, because he only has one way to get up to you, and if you can slow it down, then you deny a lot of the potential. But let's not overlook that, because Stukov is locked in, and I'm very excited for this one.
Oh, Stukov could do some very, very dirty things. We have seen him picked up a couple of times with that Chromie. No one was able to perfectly execute the arm and slowing sands combo, the silence circle. But let's see what Nomia do with it. You can get up to some sneaky things and that healing as well. If you're fighting in close corridors and spreading out that healing pathogen, you can get insane healing numbers off the board. And Leoric, Nomia, they love this hero, and he works so well on this. He can be quite a nuisance. And it'll almost work the way the Malthael did last game, in that he can be an immovable force in that lane. Even if he dies, Undying will make sure that he's back in next to no time, really.
So I'm curious to see how they decide to actually play this one, because we've seen that focus where people decide to almost play it like Azul, right? They go for the double soak, they play it with the Royal Focus, bounce between lanes, you have a strong 4-man push. In that same capacity, though, they will be going up against the Arthas. So Leoric, we've talked about this off air, absolutely bodies Arthas. So if he can get that 1v1 matchup, it's going to be such a fun time for them to deal with. And when it comes to sustained wars, Stukov versus Oriole, it's going to be a skill matchup.
It really will. Dahaka to round this one off. A lot of people argue that Dahaka, perhaps you're wasting him a little bit on a small map like this, but I'd argue he works very well, mostly for the gank potential. If you can come out, there's so much fog on this map, Brushstalker is almost always up, and you can really utilize that to the best of your ability as long as you can land those drags.
Yeah, this hero, despite not being the biggest map, still can get insane value with his movement speed when he's running through those brushes. And he can pick up the gems, he can pick up the essence extremely quickly on, but we're jumping in game number 2 now between Nomia and Crimson Gaming here on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
So a couple of things that we were excited. So the fact that we've got that Lunara coming out, but as well as the Leoric, these are 2 things that were lacking in the last game. Let's see how they're getting executed. We wanted to see them both on the same team, but you know what? I'm not going to complain here. I'm not too fussy, Skimmy.
Not too fussy at all. It's going to come down to execution for me. I'm looking forward to seeing how much this Lunara can actually deal with. If they're too scared of the Stitches, then obviously that is going to be an issue for them to deal with. But we're going to jump on into things. Game number 2 now. On Tomb of the Spider Queen, currently 1-0 in this best-of-3 series is the newly reformed Nomia boys. Led by team captain on that new ranged role, it is Fat94 playing Valo, Ryu on Leoric, Penta Unleash on Stitches, Vanilla on Stukov, and John on Tacita.
And Crimson, the boys making a name for themselves. We've got Ultivian playing Greymane, Leica on Arthas, Moondruid on Oriole, Azure on, Lunara, and Jesmiz on Dahaka.
Jesmiz on Dahaka. And look, we can already see the GLHFs coming out there, all about the good vibes. That's what ANZ is known for, right? We have no toxicity here.
Even with the little love hearts, I'm loving it. And I mean, with Nomia, should we be calling them Numia until they are, settle in the team members? I think they can have a little bit of that.
Nomia, Nomia Academy, whatever floats your boat there, Vandy. You do you.
I'll do me. Thanks, Kimmy.
But then, no surprises. Level 1 is going to be enhanced agility, the movement speed factor, arguably the best talent for that level 1 there, as he can bounce between the lanes, do things with the Wamba. Like he's running on in, he cannot run away, he gets hooked back into the cave, and he gets first blooded.
Need to respect that. I mean, yes, Arthas does get quite tanky, but at level 1, with that many members of Nomia around, or Numia, you need to watch out. Ultivian, however, as well.
Ooh.
That hook had hit, he would have been a dead man.
Penta was really looking for that one there, trying to suss out Ultivian's movement patterns. But he does have the safety of the minion wave, thankfully for himself. Almost 2 kills too quickly. Would not have been the best start for them as he jumps back in again. This guy is a madman.
He's looking for it. That aggressiveness is perhaps just needs to be toned down just a little bit. It's all right. Penta now, he's just scraping the tower. It's not a worry inside, and this is really that power coming up from Nomia, how they like to play this map, pushing the lanes, generally as a 4-man unit, and then rotating between that top and bottom, mid and top, or mid and bottom lane.
So I like what actually Crimson have done here. So they've decided not to put the Dahaka in the 4-man, so he won't be able to get that essence for the movement speed as quickly as he would otherwise, but it does mean that they won't lose that bot lane as hard. We talk about the Leoric Arthas matchup. It is pretty stacked against Arthas, but you can see the amount of pressure they're exerting into this one. Drag comes across, Ultivian comes for the gank. This is the second time they've done it now. They're really trying to bully Leoric, allow him to feel scared, but not have as much free reign as he would like otherwise.
That's what I like to see. I often mistake, people, they say there's not a lot of point to killing the Leoric. I mean, yes, in some regards, but you do get the experience, and it's more so just not letting him push uncontested, and not letting him bully out your solo laner either.
Leica once again getting aggressive. They're using the Frozen Tempest to slow people down, but if he can't get the heal, he gets punished. Now Ultivian is looking to be punished. The hook comes again, finding the kill, and getting the second one at that.
He must be feeling a little bit bad now. I mean, he was, what is it, like cat with 9 lives? But because he's playing the Wolfman, he's run out.
The cat with 9 lives, this is not Twilight, Vandy. You need to get your memes in check.
Yeah, he's the wolf. That's why his luck right out. Look at this dirty, dirty silence coming out. That's exactly what Stuko can do. That lurking arm can lock out so much. It really zones you off, especially when you're doing when you're trying to defend a siege.
Yeah, exactly. When you've got the strong siege potential, which they do have with the Vala, they will be able to sit there quite tightly, have all the sustain in the world. He can freely play around with that shield from the Colors Embrace for the extra lifesteal. And then you just got a silence on the ground, meaning if you want to try and get aggressive, if you have to run it through, like the Office does, it really hinders your ability to try and find that turnaround gank.
And John as well, he's just so happy to clear out the lane. That is one of the strengths of Tacito as well, that Psy wave can just really make short work of the minion wave.
It's interesting to see here because we have seen people actually flexing that level 1 talent away from the Temple as well. So, not as much auto attack damage and more so into the wave clear with that Cyanox Storm, but they are going to go for the traditional, they are going to go for the utility, and rightfully so, because whenever Arthas has been walking in, or Ultivian for that matter, they've been slowing them down and they've been turning it around.
They have. Now Penta, he's absolutely making sure that he gets in the way. Ultivian could be in a bit of trouble here. He needs stuff like that. Last moment he does. Fan94 aggressively vaulting and seems to get the kill. Nothing happens here except for that Ultivian. He's now forced to back yet again.
Yes, exactly what you have to do though when you are playing as a sort of solo range carry. You need to play aggressive or it is a dead pick, and we saw a lot of that at these clashes where if you run one carry and they do get picked off, you struggle so damn hard. But talking about the struggle, right now Crimson Gaming will be the ones in that position. The first set of Web Weavers against them, looking to siege, looking to get level 7, looking to find some kills as they jump onto Leica for the 3rd time this game. He's down to 140, but he cannot elude death and he drops.
And Ultivian, he's trying once again. I don't think there's much he can do. Fat94 is not deterred to take this round. Beautiful. Is the kill going? Moondruid picking up the kill there.
Moondruid MVP.
Oh, beautiful Detain Strike. He bit off more than he could chew. 2nd game in a row. And I mean, there's often that little meme where he likes to even say it himself, but is this the feed 94 we're starting to see Skimmy with that first step of the game?
Yeah, might have got into Macca's after this one and get himself a Happy Meal to cheer himself up with that toy, have a bit of a play around. But let's talk about the game itself. He got aggressive, and I respect him for that. But there was no Tesla for the shield, and Stukov struggles with that. He doesn't have that bio kill switch available. You can't do things like that. The Entertainment Strike perfectly captures the aggro of the tower. He gets punished, and kill number 1 on the board for Crimson.
I mean, everyone's been on that. When you've got the Val, when you've got the double support, sometimes you feel like a bit of a goddess. But, like you said, the second support was not yet there to hold your hand. So you were going in it alone. Camp now picked up on the side of Crimson. They are quite behind in terms of experience, so they are 1 level down. This means Nomia will hit level 10 back-to-back in these games.
Level 10 so close, but Leica for the fourth time, of this game, he runs on in, he tries to do something for his team to collapse upon, but he just gets so damn punished. And with level 10 being close, that was their best opportunity before the next set of Web Weavers, before the ultimates are online, because now Nomia can get a free reign with the push.
They can. Leica, as he said, every time he goes in, he's just met with such great resistance from Nomia, to the point where I was looking at his quest completion. Frost Presence is almost done. That's how many members of Nomia he's managing to hit with it, but there's just not any follow-up that can really happen on the side of Crimson. They're lacking that damage.
Realizing that, Nomia have gone for full utility when it comes to the ultimates. They've gone for the Rain of Vengeance, the Entomb, the Flailing Swipe, even the Force Wall, all about locking in members. Once you're in, there's no easy way for you to get on out, and you are an easy picking for them. Now, the Red Web Weavers are spawning for Crimson. This should ideally, if they can find some value from it, allow them to get 10 themselves and try and mount some kind of sieging comeback.
It's actually quite ideal for Crimson to make sure that they got that turn in before 10. As long as they can push, so if Nomia are going to send all members down there, I hope that they can realize either send someone to Jessam's already in the top lane, just get some value, get a front wall down, get your level 10, see if you can get a pick. It's very, very crucial for them. Otherwise, Nomia, they will make sure that they utilize the best of their Web Weaver turn as possible. I mean, they've already done with that bottom one. They didn't get any value, unfortunately.
They're actually going to run up to the top lane with Jessam's. They're looking for the 5-man push, which... I mean, it's arguable. I'd like to see Dahaka just push on his own and just get some free brain, get some free value off himself. But there goes the fight straight away, looking for Remak. First bullet comes on, and they look to try and find the kill. He's running on now. He's down to 500 Vanny, but the Entomb and the Lurking Arm, so much control. Where's Fat 94 is the first one to fall.
That was looking quite dire for Team Crimson, but as long as Moon Druid can continue to build up the hope with their main carry down, this could look bad for Nomia.
I mean, look, it's a dream, right? Moon Druid is stacked with the rest of Crimson, and they are just popping off with these heals. As long as Lunara is doing damage, they are staying topped up. And with the Thornwood Vine, as opposed to the Leaping Strike, easy poison application there. And that's exactly what Crimson needed to get themselves back into this one.
That was great. They saw the chance and they took it. But I just need to say, Skimmy, that was disgusting. The Entomb Lurking Arm combo, that's one that I'm sure many teams will try to adopt. And a lot easier to pull off than the Slowing Sands Lurking Arm. So great use of ultimates by Nomia.
Talking about ultimates once again, 3 ultimates collapsing onto the Dahaka, who borrows, but not for long. He's not met with any type of support. The Aegis is up in 5 seconds, but Moon Druid drops as well. It's a double kill. The punishment is there. And Nomia are looking for more.
It's payday for Nomia with the gems that were just lost on the side of Crimson. That's got to hurt more than the deaths itself. They needed those for their next turn, and now Nomia, they're free to get the boss. Boss call has been made, and they'll time it really well with the turn in. That's how Nomia roll.
The execution was there. They saw Arthas in the bot lane doing almost what Dahaka should be himself. They call it. They make a decisive judgment, they go for the cooldowns, and they get the kills. As a result, as you mentioned, yeah, they get the boss. They have enough for the hand in, and with level 13 being there as well, it gives them so many good opportunities to find kills.
I mean, boss by itself can be quite a nuisance. Boss with the Web Weavers, it's generally almost guaranteed to get that keep down.
The response from Crimson is to pick up the Giants in the bot lane, but mercenary camps on this map don't really have too much of an impact compared to other ones, so it's not really the best consolation prize. Rimac shouldn't have too much trouble dealing with this one, especially with that Royal Focus at level 4, but the kill goes out!
Completely bodied in the top lane. The hook went out, the Force Wall was stopping his retreat, and the Lurking Arm, so that combination that Nomia had, amazing. Just now it means that it's almost like a 4v4. It doesn't matter that Ryu is in the bottom lane. There's no advantage on the side of Crimson.
Yeah, the 4v5, which should have been promising for them, is met with the ability for them to have 13 first. The boss pushes on in, and it's not going to find too much as it drops, but they do find something, and that is a Bambi, and she is gone.
With the Bambi gone, it means that their damage is only down to Ultivian now. And he's not the ideal battery for Oriel. She needs the hope to be able to keep the team topped out. Otherwise, they just get completely zoned out exactly like this.
Wow, 2 kills. Too much of him to deal with. The Aegis has to be forced very defensively on himself, but he can't even use the Ray of Heaven because the lurking arm is right there. We are 10 minutes into this game, and they are camping them by the spawn.
They actually are. They know that they can. Web Weaver now, it's got about a third of the health left. And Nomia, they are now working their way onto the core. We've only got Octavian and Azure left. I don't think it's going to be enough. This is going to be game number 2 to Nomia.
It's not going to be enough. They're focusing their attention onto Pain to Villa. They're just keeping everybody sustained with their healing pathogen. And 10 minutes into the game, Nomia bringing the pain.
It was really well done for Nomia. As you said, they read the rotations very well. By siding Arthas in that bottom lane, it really enabled that kill. And that's where things sort of started snowballing out of control. After that, it was almost like stagger deaths. It kept running in. They never really had another 5v5 after that.
That was a rough showing. After game 1 looking as promising as it was, it had moments of glory, but I think the roughest part really was for Leica, who was trying to run in, trying to force some fights with what is, generally speaking, an aggressive comp. You've got the Arfish, you've got the Greymane. Every time he went in, he was just met with pain. And when he tries to retreat on out, given he has no mobility spells, well, Stitches is ready to hook you back on in.
It really was, but I love the way Nomia played it as well. They sort of judged how Crimson were. When there was a 5v5, it actually did go in favor of Crimson. They were able to focus down Fat Nightfall and that Valor quite nicely. But it was about getting the picks with that force wall and then locking them up with the lurking arm as well. It all came down to that Stitches or on the Leoric to really open up those fights and get those picks happening.
Well, there you have it, gang. First series of the night was short, sharp, and sweet, with Nomia beating out Crimson Gaming 2-0 to finish this one off. We are going to bounce it back to Kit Fox as we get ready for the next set of games, so stay tuned.
Thank you very much, Skimmy and Vandy, for yet another amazing cast. Congratulations to Nomia taking down Crimson. And if you're watching this thinking there's one thing you don't let Nomia do, that is you don't let them snowball. You don't give them any breathing room, or otherwise they just pounce and capitalize like they did just there. Crimson put up a good fight though, but they'll bounce back down to the lower bracket, unfortunately for them. But don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. After the break, we will be drawing our Garrosh skin thanks to Blizzard ANZ. So type !GS HOTS into the Twitch chat. We'll draw that after we come back from the break. If you don't win that, don't stress. We've got another one of those which will be drawn after the final series. So !GS HOTS to get your hot little hands on that sweet, sweet bundle. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a very short break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back very, very shortly.